Hi, everybody, and welcome to Jordan United Church of Christ with me, your favorite pastor. This coming Sunday is Palm Sunday, as I prefer to call it, the Sunday of Jesus' Passion, where we commemorate the events of the last week of Jesus' earthly life. Now, this coming Sunday, our choir will present a beautiful and moving cantata called Song of the Shadows. It's written by Joseph Martin and Pamela Martin. And you'll see some of the symbols that are going to be used to help represent parts of that story that the choir will tell us in song and word and also in the visuals right behind me and around me. In the book that the choir will be singing from is an introduction to this cantata, and it concludes with this paragraph. Shall we walk together for a while in the shadow of the cross? It will not be an easy sojourn, but we will not walk alone. As we confront the dark night of the soul, we can always find comfort in this, that wherever there are shadows, there is also light. I believe that and affirm that, but it didn't take all the way to Good Friday and to Jesus on the cross for there to be shadows. This Lenten season, we have been doing a deep dive into the Gospel of Luke in our small group Sunday worship, our Sunday school classes. And in Luke 19, right after the story of Palm Sunday and Jesus' triumphant entry into the city Jerusalem, where they took off their cloaks and they spread them on the way from the Mount of Olives into the city, is this very powerful passage. This is chapter 19, verse 41 and following. And as he drew near and saw the city, that is Jerusalem, he wept over it, saying, Would that you even now had known on this day the things that make for peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. For the days will come upon you when your enemies will set up a barricade around you and surround you and hem you in on every side, and tear you down to the ground, you and your children within you, and they will not leave one stone upon another in you, because you did not know the time of your visitation. Jesus wept over the city. I think if we are to be honest, most of us would believe that Jesus is weeping over our nation this day as well. We all know of this terrible shooting once again earlier this week in a Christian school in Nashville, where 3 9-year-olds were gunned down in their classroom and 3 adults as well. As horrible as that tragedy is, and as shocking, if I heard the statistics correctly, that was the 13th school shooting in 2023 here in the United States. Again, if I heard the news correctly, it was the 130th mass shooting in the United States in 2023. And we're not even at the end of March. When will we say enough is enough? We have a crisis in our country. And we often, as Christians, say, well, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to Nashville. Someone has written these words: thoughts and prayers are meant to support action, not to replace or supplant it. We have to do the actual work. What is the actual work? Maybe we need to leave that up to our legislatures, but somebody's got to do something more than simply saying thoughts and prayers. The Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, verse 23, All things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful, but not all things build up. This is not just a matter of law. It's really a matter of morality. Even if things are legal, it doesn't necessarily make them right. doesn't necessarily build up or be helpful. As a matter of fact, when we talk about our rights without our responsibilities, our freedoms without any accountability, then it is as if the stones are being cast down to the ground, and we will be underneath that rubble. As we contemplate Jesus' passion, may we contemplate what we are called to do as God's people for the things that will make for peace in our own hearts, in our own lives, in our communities, in our nation, so torn apart by violence and needless violence and death. I hope that you will join us here for Palm Sunday and also for the other special services during Holy Week, Maundy, Thursday, Holy Communion here at the altar, as we commemorate Jesus in giving us the Last Supper, and then Good Friday. Jesus didn't die that we could do what we wanted to do. He died in order to save us from ourselves and our sinful nature. I'll see you in church.